Hurricane Ian was a very large and catastrophic Category 4 hurricane in southwest Florida. This hurricane affected many individuals' lives in a negative way. Many individuals lost their homes, workplaces, and everything they owned. Living in southwest Florida, this was a horrific event, and our group knew that we needed to do something. We originally planned on volunteering in an animal shelter, but instead we wanted to volunteer within our local community with hurricane cleanup. With that being said, our community-based issue had to deal with different places throughout southwest Florida with hurricane cleanup, an effort to help with the catastrophic event that occurred.
The objective of this project was to go out into the affected Southwest Florida community and help others recover from a natural disaster like Hurricane Ian. I achieved many successes throughout helping the community. I helped multiple houses near Vanderbilt Beach with removing all damaged furniture and other damaged personal items from their house. I also cleaned up the backyards that were covered with fallen trees and branches. Some roadblocks that I faced were carrying couches through a pool of water in the living room, which turned out to be a little difficult. However, my greatest accomplishment was seeing the smiles of the homeowners after we were finished for the day.
My name is Carolina Vento, and I had the pleasure of working with Rebuild Southwest Florida. Its main goal is to help hundreds of individuals who were affected by Hurricane Ian. As a group, we cleaned out debris from homes and donated supplies back to our communities. One of my greatest accomplishments during my service learning was knowing I was helping to give back in times of need and was able to help others get their life back to normal. One of my biggest roadblocks was seeing how critical the damage was.
The foundational elements of engagement that guided my work was done by serving. Serving was shown because I was serving the community after this event occurred. I learned how to problem solve because I identified that this was a real problem that affected many individuals, and I tried to make many solutions as possible so people weren't living in damaged conditions. I think I moved along the active citizens continuum spectrum in a positive way. I think I started as a volunteer, and now I feel like I'm an active citizen.
The foundational element of engagement that guided my work was serving. I served by giving back to the community by helping those who were affected by Hurricane Ian. The technique I utilized was problem solving because while carrying heavy furniture through water, I had to be proactive and find a solution to getting the furniture out the door. I moved along the active citizen continuum as I realized the tragedy our community was facing and the need for my help.
Foundational element of engagement that guided my work was giving to those who had nothing left to give. The technique I utilized was civic dialogue, talking and connecting to others in the community about the tragedy that occurred and our shared feeling for wanting to help. I moved from a member to a conscientious citizen on the active citizen continuum.
I used service and giving most during my service learning, and as a group we had to use problem solving and critical thinking when thinking of ways to take debris out of the homes. I began this class as a member, but throughout my journey I have progressed to an active citizen in my community.
All in all, I learned many things from this project. I learned how to give back to the community, get involved within our community, and improve our communication and leadership. This project impacted each of our group members in many different ways, but all in a positive manner.
What I learned from this project is that in times of need in a community, it's essential for all members of the community to come together and help those who are affected by a disaster. This project helped the homeowners, who I helped out immensely. They were very thankful to have volunteers help move damaged items instead of having to pay a moving company.
What I learned from this project is the importance of helping your community. Just being a member in a society is not enough for us to grow and thrive as human beings. We need to look out and care for one another instead of turning our backs and pretending not to see. Our community of Southwest Florida was completely destroyed. It will never be the same ever again. So we need to do everything we can to help.
I learned it is important to put your community first and work together. There is a quote by Margaret Wheatley that was used a lot by Rebuild Southwest Florida that says there is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. I believe as a community, a team, and a group, we can all be able to help in our own ways and give back.